again, this is Mark Simmons, founder and principal of Mix Digital, doing this one out of the home office today instead of in the car. So still the Mixed on the Move series, but not really moving. Anyway, so as part two follow-up to the Mark Zuckerberg hearings on Capitol Hill, day two really saw a little bit more intense scrutiny and questioning by I believe it was the House, versus the first day. Really, the information was roughly the same. From our perspective, looking at it from the marketing and advertising industry, as far as impact goes, didn't really see anything that stood out or changed the opinion. They talked about fake news sites and using their content editors to get a better hold on that. Interesting that they wanted to classify Facebook as a news publisher, whereas Zuckerberg contends that it's a tech company and works differently. There was talk about the European Union and how their privacy policies are stricter, and that's something that maybe Facebook should employ. One of the things that has come out from both of these hearings is the concept of the terms and conditions on your website and the privacy policy. So, that's something that we also talk about in the accompanying blog post that we put out. But basically, your privacy policy is how you use the data that you collect on your website. And it's important for it to be understandable and transparent for your website visitors or your users if they actually have to give up their information and set up an account. You want to make sure it's clear and they understand what they're getting themselves into. If you're using cookies for tracking for Google Analytics or for DoubleClick or for Adobe, whatever the case may be, you want to kind of make that clear in your privacy policy. Because you're collecting information, that's important. Your site needs to be secure. You need to make sure you tell them you're not selling the information, unless you are, which is a different story. The terms and conditions. So terms and conditions, every major website has terms and conditions that you have to accept and sign. All the software that we use online has terms and conditions. It's basically the legal contract. The funny thing is, how many people read it? Probably 1%. Who knows? I'm just throwing a number out there, but I will often just sign up and accept the terms and conditions, because really, when I'm looking at a Google Analytics update, what am I going to do? If I don't accept it, I can't use the product. So it's kind of a rock and a hard place. You really can't go back and say, hey, can you redline this and can you change that? So we really do accept them. But what we can do as business owners and as brands is make the terms and conditions simpler. They don't need to be 50, 100 pages, 200 pages long. They can be shortened and written in a way that people can understand it. I think what that does is it helps your customers understand that you are concerned with sharing the information about what what your product is doing and what they're agreeing to, but you're doing it in a way that makes them able to understand it, as opposed to using legal jargon, which no one really gets unless you're a lawyer. It can be hard to understand. So just thinking about it from that perspective. So again, with the information that came out of the hearings, there was a lot about the data breach and what they're going to do, and talk of regulation and how that would impact Facebook, but how that would also impede the startup community. It would create a significant barrier to entry in the startup community for tech companies if they were to regulate them as heavily as they do Facebook, or as they are planning to for Facebook. So a lot of different issues being bandied about during the hearing, but ultimately I think I'll double down on my prediction that if Facebook takes a stronger look at the data that they have and how they're keeping the data, cracks down on fake Facebook profiles, and just does a better job overall regarding the protection of your data, I think that it's going to improve the quality of the data. And the better and higher quality of the data there is for advertisers, it simply means that your targeting is more effective. So, this scandal has a silver lining, in my opinion. If they move in the direction that I think Zuckerberg wants to move and says that he's going to move, I see it having a positive impact on marketing campaigns with Facebook, and it can potentially spill over into other platforms such as LinkedIn and Twitter that are heavily used by the marketing community for the data that they contain and the access and the ability to target. So this could have a ripple effect. This could be a very positive thing. Sure, no one likes to have their data taken without their knowledge and without their understanding. But again, thinking about this from the marketing perspective, I see positive movement coming from this. So hopefully I'm correct, and we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. That's pretty much all I have. So thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you do, please subscribe using the subscribe button below to the YouTube channel. Check us out on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Check out our website. Leave a comment, leave a question. If there's a topic you want to discuss, then let us know. But again, thanks for watching, and hope you have a great day.